Nada. Okay, so I'm just gonna get going so that and then we can get figure out Tanya here in a second. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Melissa. I've been coaching for a few years now and have been having a crazy awesome year, but really what I want to talk about is how I got started in this. So before I was a coach or knew anything about Beachbody coaching, I was into fitness. Fitness is my jam. It's the career path that I came from. I actually went to grad school and have a master's of fine arts and all of this, all that stuff, but I kind of did that because it's kind of what you're supposed to do, right? You go to school, you go to college, you go to grad school, and you get all that stuff. And then I ended up graduating from college with no real career path. And then I found this love for fitness. I've played sports my entire lives. I was actually on the collegiate rugby team, so obviously working out was really important. And I just kind of fell in love with it. I fell in love with that self-care, but I had absolutely no idea how I was going to make it into anything that could support me. And that was my dream. That was it. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to have any other career path. I wanted to do something that literally would pay me to work out and pay me to take care of myself. And it seemed to me, it seemed kind of lazy, and it seemed kind of wishy-washy or juvenile or whatever at the time, because nobody does that, right? Nobody just takes care of themselves all the time and gets paid for it. And then one day I saw one of Kaylee's posts, and all I remember about it is it said something about working from home and fitness. And I was like, that is it. That's what I want to do. I want to set my own schedule. I want to work when I want to work. I want to be involved with fitness. I want to be my healthiest. I want to be my happiest. And I want that to be my focus, right? I don't want that to be some little side thought that I have to eke in at random times and force it to happen and all this, right? I want it to be my number one thing, because that was what was important to me. So, and at the time that I found this, I was coaching. I was a CrossFit coach. I was doing group fitness instructing. I was spin classes and high intensity interval training classes, HIIT classes, stuff like that. And they're great, and I love them, but you have to work on somebody else's schedule, and other people's schedules are you're getting up at 5:45 a.m., teaching a class, having to be on, having to be energetic, or in the evening, at 7 or whatever when people are getting off work. And that's what really kind of pushed me into thinking outside of the box in fitness, right? Not necessarily wanting to work at a gym, even though now that I've created all this freedom, I have the opportunity to go back and do that, to teach these live classes that I actually enjoyed teaching, just didn't enjoy having to teach. So that's kind of where I came from and how I got into coaching and the reason that I started. One of the main things that I was struggling with, any of you who have ever been involved in the fitness field know for a fact that people like group fitness instructors, they do that because they love it. It's not because you make millions, right? It's because you can only teach so many hours in a day. You can't sit there and teach 8 classes in a row, 8 hours a day, at 5 days or 6 days a week, or at least I can't. I don't know how you, maybe someone out there can, but I wasn't interested in doing that. So finding a sustainable income in teaching classes and being in the fitness field was incredibly tough. And that's where I was at. So I wasn't making a ton of money. It was definitely paycheck to paycheck, 100% paycheck to paycheck. And I was already working 2 and at one point 3 jobs, part-time jobs, just trying to make it all work and trying to fit fitness into the cracks and trying to make money at it, right? So when I talked to Kaylee about joining a challenge group, that was my number one problem, was I didn't have the money to do it, right? And I didn't have because I was working in the fitness field. I wasn't making my millions yet. I wasn't anything like that. And so it was a really tough thing for me. And what really, and I kind of worked around it, and I actually made her wait a few months and all this stuff because I had all these limiting beliefs of myself. And what really pushed me over the edge was the fact that I was going to be getting something. So I had been approached about so many other things before, and they're like, invest your money and tell me all this stuff and give me all this and, whatever, for nothing. But when I was talking to Kaylee about this challenge group, she was giving me absolutely everything I was going to need to be incredibly successful, right? Getting access to tons of workouts. I was getting this shake that I didn't know from any other shake in the world, but I was going to get it, right? I was going to get 30 days of something physical. And that was a huge deal to me at that time. Because like I said, I just didn't have, what did I spend? I think it was $160. I didn't have $160 to spend at all on anything, let alone, something that I wasn't really sure of, but knowing that I was going to get that physical package in the mail and I knew I was going to have something out of it and I wasn't getting like, excuse my language, but screwed over by anything or scammed or anything like that. That's kind of what made me go, all right, fine, I'm going to do it. And then she comes in and tells me about the 30-day money back guarantee. And I was like, oh yeah, 100%, right? If I can send this back after a month, if I decide that I don't like it, right? Which means I couldn't pay my rent or something, that I could send it back. So it was all these things that finally clicked into place for me. And that kind of made it happen. So that's how I got started. And then as I actually signed up as a coach right away because I wanted the discount, right? When you have problems spending money, you sure as heck are going to be chasing after those discounts. So that's initially why I signed up as a coach as well, was wanting that discount and thinking that maybe I could make this into a career. So, and learning about that and coming into that, from that angle, I started to look at the monetary things, and I ran Kaylee through the ringer asking questions about it, asking questions about every single charge that was going to be charged on my account ever. Because I'm one of those people that, like, I would watch my bank account go down to like $20 and be like, man, I hope no surprises go through because it's going to overdraft my account. That's where I was at that time. So I asked about every little tiny thing, and she was so straightforward. And that's what I do with all of my challenges, because there's no reason to hide anything, right? So every month we pay a $15.95 fee, right? Because as coaches, they give us a website, they deal with all the products, they deal with all the links and the signing up and just like so much stuff Beachbody deals with for us, and we pay them $16 a month for that. That's okay, right? And then of course we invest in ourselves and invest in our Shakeology and that kind of thing. But excuse me, but that whole process is the same, no matter if you're signing up as a challenger or signing up as a coach. But as a coach, you're getting the discount. And as the coach, you get the opportunity to help other people, right? Get your friends involved, get people to do it with you. And that starts to pay for your Shakeology. And that's where I was at. I was like, okay, sign up as a coach, get all my buddies to do it with me. And I'm paying off my Shakeology and doing this literally for free, right? So that's where we get started with that. So the price was like one of my biggest objections. It was really so easy to just get started anyway, because I was getting something physical. I had the opportunity to help other people, and in helping other people, I paid off, what I had already invested, like super fast, right? Okay, so sorry, I don't want to get too rambly. Let's stick to my little list here. So topic, what do we actually do as coaches? What do we do on the daily? Now, I like to call it our bread and butter of what we do, our challenge groups. This is how we dig deep. This is how we actually help people. This is what we do on the daily, checking in, providing support, right? Providing that accountability, because really that's what helps me. That's what I needed. And that's what helps me. Because you can get fit doing anything. You can go run around the block and get fit. But what people are missing and what people need are that community and that accountability. And that's one of the things that we provide in these challenge groups that we run every month. So we show up every month. We create this safe, amazing little community of people just wanting to be healthier, and they're all in it together, and they're all loving on and supporting each other. And us as the coaches are just facilitating all that and doing it ourselves. And that's the great part, right? Remember back where like that, I wanted that to be my focus, was my own self-care. There you go, right? I am a challenger in every single one of my groups. I am constantly working out, checking in, drinking my Shakeology, encouraging the other people in my group, and feeding off their energy as well. So really, we're kind of just all doing it together. I don't have to pretend like I know it all. I don't have to pretend like I'm the master of all things. I'm just gathering up a bunch of my friends and doing this awesome, amazing thing to make ourselves better. Okay, so beyond that, we do business mentoring, team leadership, and what that means is that we work with people who have the same mindset as us. We talk to people in our challenge groups, and we see people who are naturally inspiring and naturally engaged and just killing it basically in these groups, and we know that they could inspire other people around them. So we invite them to do what we're doing, and that's it. And we mentor them through that. And again, it's a side-by-side thing. It's not anything like we're up here and know all the things and new coaches are down here, right? We are all in this together. We're all learning together. I mean, if anybody saw any of our videos trying to figure this out. You'll totally understand, right? We are a constant learning process and we just go through it together. And some of us have a little bit more time experience in this stuff, so we're able to help, right? Which is where the mentoring comes in. But really it's about just being with each other and supporting each other through building a business, just like it is through the starting and continuing a fitness journey. And of course, the overall goal of everything that we do and everything that we say and all of these groups and stuff is just bringing an end to the trend of obesity in this country. And it's become, and this can get controversial, so I'm not going to get really into it using certain words like epidemic and all this stuff. But all I know is that there are a lot of unhealthy and unhappy, more importantly, unhappy people out there that really just need some kind of positivity, something to look forward to, something to work on, and something to feel confident and proud of in themselves, right? And that's what fitness has done for me, and that's what these groups have done for me. I feel like I'm going to get emotional, so I'm going to stop. But that's really our overall, just like our umbrella goal. Everybody does it differently. Everybody has different small personal goals, but overall, we're trying to create this just positive, healthy light in this world that it just seems to be trending the opposite way, especially lately. Let's not get into that. Anyway, and so I wanted to talk a little bit really quickly about how it's changed my life. And I could go on about this forever, but I'm going to keep it really quick. I wasn't timing myself at all, but in every way, absolutely every way. If you knew me at all before Beachbody, absolutely, defensive. I had a lot of anger issues. I had absolutely no self-confidence at all. And it's all these things that are so not about the physical. And that's the only reason I joined, was for the physical part of it. So it's just like this all-encompassing, amazing thing. We focus on personal development because the only way you can really help other people is by filling your own cup first, filling it to overflowing so that you can pour into other people and really be there with them where they're at, no matter where they're at, and help them out of that. I've did not get into this business for that, which shows you where I was at, the shallowness that I was at in my life at that time. And now I'm getting messages about how people have become the women that they wanted to become. And it was all because of doing things that made them feel better and more confident, like reading personal development and working out and eating clean. So, okay, I'm sure I went way over time. I'm going to invite Tanya to jump on and we're going to see how smoothly this goes. But give me 1 second. Just gonna wait for her to invite. You guys be sure I can't see comments. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay!
We can hear you.
Lord,
Everybody.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Yeah, this just got so much better. You guys, we were worried. Cool. Okay. So first off, Melissa, you just freaking killed that. Like, I'm so ready to just be on your team. I'm like, oh wait, I'm already part of your team. So cool. Now there's two of us, so we can kind of look at each other as we talk. But I wanted to go into my story a little bit. When I first started with coaching, I was actually 20 pounds overweight. Just to give you guys a background on myself, I'm a full-time marketing manager. So I'm the corporate girl of this call, if you will. At the time of finding coaching, I had a full-time job. I loved my career, but I just really hated the nutrition and the fitness side of my life. I was just not happy in it at all. And I also was in a point where, sorry, my dog's in the background. I had mercury toxicity and I was chronically fatigued. I had horrible eczema, and I had just found a doctor of osteopathy who was giving me all of these supplements, really diving deep into gut health, and it was starting to work. And when I was approached with Shakeology, which if you guys don't know, it's a superfood shake, and it's not a protein shake. It's this like concoction of amazingness that you would get from like a Peruvian Indian witch doctor in the mountains that like tells you that you need to have ashwagandha and like all of these other ingredients that you can't pronounce, but like she's like 90 years old and she looks like she's 40 and she's super fit, and you're just like, okay lady, I'll take whatever you tell me to take. So that's kind of what it was like when I looked at the ingredients. And to give you even more background on me, my dad's a chiropractor, so I've grown up with supplements and vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff. And to tell you the truth, when I was first invited to do a group and first invited to be a part of drinking Shakeology, I was like, no, thank you. I'm not into synthetic ingredients. I'm gluten-free. I want a vegan shake. I'm really happy with my Vega protein that is $20, and I don't know where it came from, and they sell it at CVS, and I'm like really happy with it because it's gluten-free and vegan, and it tastes decently good, and I mix it with spirulina and maca powder that I bought from Whole Foods. And I was really happy with it. And then I looked into Shakeology, I looked into the ingredients, and I was like stoked because it was cheaper than what my doctor was giving me. She was giving me algae that you put in the freezer. I was getting specialized like amino acid powder, and all of the stuff, you guys, was costing me close to $250. And I tried Shakeology hesitantly, and I did it on Thanksgiving. And I remember drinking it and not getting sick because I normally get sick when I have like bread or pie or anything. And I had Shakeology, and I'm going to be real with you guys here, okay? This is a real moment. I didn't get the poops from having gluten, okay? I'm just on it. And I was like, holy ish, if this stuff works like this in 24 hours for my body, this is just my experience, I'm really excited to see what it'll do for 30 days. And so I tried it for 30 days, had the best experience, best thing ever. So that was my biggest hesitation with doing these things, was the shake, because every time I hear shake, you think some other sketchy company that has piece of shit products. And if you do your research, which I really encourage you to do, this is, and my dad's a chiropractor and he drinks it every day, and he gets so incredibly excited every time a shipment comes. So that's kind of my thing. I've now lost the 20 pounds and some, and gained muscle, and I work out every day. And I thought I was going to be a curvy fat girl like my whole life. And now I've got like bicep muscles and my hamstring muscles. Like, I didn't even know what a hamstring muscle was. You know, like Melissa in the fitness world, like she totally got that for me. I'm like, listen, if I can run for 10 minutes from here to the beach, I'm good. Like, I did not think I could be that fitnessy type of person. And here I am, and I have a full-time marketing job, and I can totally do it. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about time and resources. So it takes roughly an hour a day to build this business, and you can do that hour a day however you want. Sometimes I do 15 minutes on my lunch. Sometimes I do an hour when I get home. Sometimes I get really excited and I do 2 hours a night because I'm excited about it. But basically, this business takes as long as you want it to take. How long does it take to see success? It can take a day to see success. If you have one person that wants to join your group, boom, success. So it really depends on how you define success. A lot of the times people define success with money, and that's not something that we do on our team. Like, success means, hey, one person was inspired by my post, or hey, I made a new friend because I read a great personal development book and I'm not socially awkward anymore. Like, that's success. That's a really cool thing. So income success depends completely on your efforts. When it comes to resources and tools, we have trainings. We use tools that are auto schedulers, so you don't have to post to Facebook every day. We have assignments already written out, so the content of these groups is already written out for you. You don't have to create everything from scratch. Like, we have images, we have assignments, we have all kinds of stuff. So if you're ready to rock and roll, like, you could start being a coach tomorrow. We'll help you with everything. So that's enough about me and kind of the stuff that we do. But just to give you a perspective on how it's changed my life, it's really helped me with both my personal development and my business development. So if you're in the corporate world, like, being a coach is going to exorbitantly increase your productivity. It's going to increase your ideas. There's so many things that I bring from my coaching business into my corporate business that makes people around me go, whoa, where'd you get that? I'm like, actually, my Beachbody coaching job, like, we do this all the time. And especially if you work in marketing or sales of any kind, like, your other full-time business is going to explode. Your career is going to explode in that part. And then on the personal side, I wrote a post today, but I've had a lot of crazy things happen in my life. My brother has an addiction to drugs, and I've shared about that openly. And there's been a couple of other things. I went through a breakup of like a 5-year relationship, and I've moved. I've done a bunch of stuff. And being in this group, being in this environment, being a coach, just like all of the wonderful things that you get from this have really acted as a foundation and a ground for me to stay grounded. English is my second language, so sometimes I say things funny. So it's just really laid a foundation for me to have the support that I need and just be strong during times that you need strength. And the times where I feel weak, I have a complete community of people to call me out and be like, hey, are you doing okay? So that's that. And then it's also just giving me a lot of freedom to travel, to learn how to have freedom of time. I want to be a mom one day, and I don't have to choose between my career and being a mom. Like, I want to be able to be a stay-at-home mom and, you know, still hang out with my kids and have the flexibility to do that. So how it's changed my life is in every single freaking way. I'm a better person. I'm a better daughter. I'm a better dater because I'm single now. I'm a better friend, coach, everything. Like, I just can't speak highly enough of this, and I think that everyone ever should do this and do it with us because we're a really cool team. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to an amazing mom named Kaylee, who is a rock star. One of her kids actually threw up on her right before she decided to jump on this call, and I think that's awkward and fun to say because it's real life. Like, if you're a mom, you get that, right? Like, so with that being said, let's see how beautiful this lady is with all these kids running around and just killing it at life. So I don't know how I hop off. Do I just like exit?
Yeah, can you exit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. And then I'll add Kaylee. All right, K Money. See if we can get Kaylee to jump on here.
Yay.
There she is. Okay.
Totally, I'll just say thank you, Tanya. Hot mess status coming in. I'm holding my newborn. Hopefully he won't cry too much. I had to nurse him while we were going live and again just now. So hopefully he's good to go. So, oh gosh, my phone's dying, but it should make it through this. Okay. So just to dive into things, I started coaching about 3.5 years ago, and I was that person. My best friend in the entire world sent me a Facebook message in November of 2013 and was like, hey, I just started doing this coaching thing. I'm running these online groups, like we're drinking Shakeology and we're doing workouts like P90X. Literally my best friend. And I read her message and I was like, dude, she got caught up in some sort of weird pyramid scheme. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. I didn't even respond to her message, not even like no thanks or anything, because I was like, this is bad news. And so little did I know, first of all, that pyramid schemes are actually illegal, and how they work, if you don't know, because I had to Google it. When you sign somebody up, you earn money for signing people up, right? So, and like the person on the top is like getting all this money because all these people are signing up and paying to like be a part of this thing. Beachbody is an A+ rated company. It's a $1 billion company, and they're legit, right? You as a coach, you don't get paid for recruiting people. And we're not gonna, I don't want to like dive into how all that works, but like, you know, you could have 10 people on your team and be more successful than somebody that has 500 people on their team, because it has nothing to do with how many people you recruit. And I actually don't even like that. It makes me feel like an icky salesy person, but that's like the logistics of that part of it. So anyways, I thought my friend was in this weird pyramid scheme. I was like waiting for her to be like, oh my God, the cops are like taking my money or whatever. I don't know. So, but I started watching all her posts on Facebook. And if you've seen like Melissa's post or Tanya's post or another Beachbody coaches, most of the time they're really upbeat and positive and motivating and inspiring and all these like warm, fuzzy feeling things. And so I was watching her and she was happy. She was working out. She was eating these awesome, healthy recipes. and she was earning like money. I remember she posted that like her entire month's income allowed her to buy a new MacBook Pro. And that's when I was kind of like, okay, wait, what's going on here, you know? And so not only that, but I also was at literally the lowest low of my life at that time. I was 50 pounds overweight. I was really depressed, and I'm like smiling as I say this, but it was actually like I couldn't even look in the mirror because I just hated seeing myself. I hated that I let myself go. I was at the point where I think I was 26 at the time, and I just felt like what am I doing? Like, what is the purpose of life? I feel lost. I hate everything. I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. And I just knew that something needed to change. Like, how was I going to continue life in my mid-20s when I hated everything about myself? So I finally reached out to her. I remember bawling my eyes out. I was living in Hawaii at the time, staring at this street sign, and called her and was like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but I want in. Like, how do I do this? I can't do this anymore. I need help. So she being pack is a workout and Shakeology together was $205. There was no way that I had $205. So I told her, nope, I cannot do that. Like, no way. And I wish she was on this. Her being the wonderful friend that she is was like, okay, I'll lend you the money and pay me back whenever. And of course I paid her back, but she lent me the money. I got started in my first challenge group, and I am not joking that I cried every single, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. I still got my pregnancy hormones or whatever going on. I cried every single day of that challenge group because I was like ripping off all of these band-aids that had been, I've been trying to hide things, and I really got a chance to start looking at what was wrong with, or, why I was hurting, why I was so unhappy, why didn't I feel like I had purpose in life anymore. And to be able to start to see the weight slowly drop off, I ended up losing 50 pounds in about 8 or 9 months from just being in challenge group after challenge group after challenge group and being a part of that community. And it changed me. And that sounds so silly, but when I think back to the person that I was 3.5 years ago, I was so broken and lost and felt hopeless and all of those just horrible, icky feelings. And now here I am. But it was a long journey, right? And then I got married, and I had my twins, and they are going to be 2 years old next month. And at that point, it was like, okay, I'm going to do this full time, because for me, my mom was a single parent of 3 kids who got no support from my dad, and so did everything on her own. And that meant that she worked, 6, 7 days a week, 10, 12-hour days to keep a roof over her head, to keep food in the fridge. And it was hard. I watched her struggle all of the time. And I knew at a very young age, I was like 12, when this was all happening, that I never wanted that for my kids. I wanted to be present. I wanted to be there for every soccer practice. I wanted to be there for field trips and PTA meetings and all that like mom stuff that my mom missed out on. And so that's when my husband and I just were like, okay, let's make this happen. What needs to happen in order for you to be able to be home with them? Plus, by the way, childcare for 2 kids in this area is like $2,000 a month. I now have a 3-week-old baby. I can't imagine paying even more than that to have them be, taken care of while I go to work. And on top of that, I will say that I am an English Lit major. I don't know, but that's one of those degrees. It's like you can't really do anything with that. So there was no way that I would qualify for a job that would help cover the cost of childcare. You know, I'd pretty much be working to put them in childcare, which was ridiculous. So being a stay-at-home mom and working this business has been like a dream come true for me, to be here for every single moment, to, you know, spend time and still be able to earn an income and all of those lovely things. My notes on my computer just shut off. So to get back to my notes, so the things that I, along with thinking that this was a pyramid scheme, I was worried as a coach that you would have to like stockpile boxes and boxes of Shakeology, which is not true. Melissa kind of already touched base on this. Like, the only financial investment is the investment that you pay for yourself besides the $69.95 a month, right? So I pay for my Shakeology every month because I love it. And as a mom of 3 under 2 years old, I rarely have time to eat. I eat my toddler's leftover food majority of the time. I know that I'm getting one awesome meal a day. I have my workouts, which I love. I can't work out right now, but I'm obsessed with them. But I don't have like all this inventory, I guess you would call it, or whatever, of stuff that I had to like buy to get started, right? That's all taken care of with Beachbody and their website and all of that. And I also, another huge thing for me, because I was so insecure and had no confidence, was really being able to put myself out there and share my story. And if you follow me at all on social media, you know that I'm pretty much an open book, right? I try to be real and honest with mom life and insecurities and just everything that's going on. And I never, ever would have thought that Beachbody would have actually given me the platform to share my story and share mom life and use it to make an impact on other people's lives. And again, like Melissa said, like, I can't even tell you how many messages I get from people that I don't even know that are paying attention to anything, that are like, hey, your post meant so much to me today. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad you said that. You know, I always felt alone about this. All of those things feels so good. It feels so good to know that you have this amazing opportunity to make a positive impact on somebody else's life. So I'm trying not to get emotional again. So Beachbody has been like such a blessing in so many ways that I never ever would have thought. I really truly thought that it was a pyramid scheme, some sketchy, weird business thing where you pay a lot of money and you get screwed over. I never ever would have thought that it would have helped me lose 50 pounds to find myself, the best version of myself. I truly believe became possible because of Beachbody. You know, the community of friends, everything with that, and how it's changed my life. I mean, gosh, there's like a trillion things that I could talk about, but in 2016, I will say, was one of the hardest years of my life, as far as my husband and I are married. We had our twins, and we have a stepdaughter, and we ended up having to pay back child support. And he was having his wages, I always forget the word, but essentially $2,000 a month was just taken from us, and it killed us. That was a huge unexpected expense. Obviously 100% worth it, but it killed us. It was so hard to be able to make ends meet with that going on. And without Beachbody, you know, I had a pretty good income coming with that. I can't even imagine, you know, what would have happened. And just, you know, I don't want to go too much into all of that because that's a whole different thing. But basically that, like, kept a roof over our head, and sometimes it was very scary to the point we didn't know if we were going to be able to keep a roof over our head at times. But to be able to be at home and to go through something that hard and still be able to contribute financially meant a lot to me, even during such stressful times. So that being said, I'm going to transition, a weird, choppy transition, into hopefully, you know, you've heard these 3 different perspectives of this business, how it's impacted them, and if you're interested in joining or, you know, taking the next step, where do you go from here type of thing. So if you've already been in a challenge group, you know how awesome they are. You're probably drinking Shakeology. You probably realize that the workouts are freaking phenomenal. And you know, you want to go forward and run your own challenge group and be able to use your story to impact other people's lives, like we've talked about. And if that's something that you want to do, you can enroll as a coach. And depending on where you're at right now in your challenge group, it's either free to sign up or it'll be a $40 fee. And you would have to reach out to the coach that invited you to see how that will play out for you. But $40 to build your own business, $40 to create whatever you're looking for, whatever your freedom is, whether you want a full-time business, whether you need a little extra money to make ends meet, or whether you just want to be a part of something that is bigger than you. $40, period. Like, that's pretty freaking amazing. Go ahead and try to start any other business and just pay $40 and tell me how that goes, because I don't even know what that would look like or if that's possible, unless you're like running a lemonade stand on the corner, maybe. But so you have that option. If you've never done a challenge group before, get plugged into one. Like I said, they will truly change your life. And I don't even mean that in like a weird, cheesy way, but I promise you that you're going to be so loved and so welcomed and supported. And no matter what your goals are, you're going to have the encouragement that you need. And that right there, again, is so worth it, in my opinion. And from there, moving forward, you know, once you sign up to be a coach, we offer coach training. We are there with you. We're not going to just sign you up and have you like go off and do your own thing. Like, you're a part of our family. We want you to be successful. We want you to be happy and be the best version of you. So we will get you set up to run your own challenge group, or you can co-coach. A lot of times I kind of like help my little birdie coaches and I co-coach with them to help them get on their feet, and then they get the confidence they need. They know how things work, and then they continue rocking it. It's totally up to what you want, what your goals are, and then you would reach out to the coach that you know, that you've been working with or you've connected with, and they will love you and help you and support you. And I think that that's all that I was supposed to talk about.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I think
That's
I'm
so perfect.
giving it over to somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just wanted to hit on a couple things really quick. I know we're getting a little bit long now, but what I wanted to talk about, just ask about the kind of getting set up, is a bunch of things that went through my brain as I was talking with Kaylee, when like way back in the day, when I was just thinking about becoming a coach and thinking about, you know, the time that it would take, you know, thinking that you don't have time. And you look at these people, you have to remember that you're going to make time for things that you want to do. And that's what we help you with. That's one of the things that we talk about a lot, is making, you know, choosing your priorities and deciding on your priorities and not letting anything else dictate what you want to do. So if it's something that you want to do, we will help you find the time, or really what it is making the time and making it a priority. I mean, you look at people like Tanya, who work full time and still grow an incredible business and help an amazing amount of people. Or you look at Kaylee, who has 3 kids under 2. Talk about not having time, people. So, but she still makes it because it's a priority for her. And that's one of the great things, is you're never alone in that. Like, we're not going to just be like, you make the time, figure it out. We are there, man. We are helping you find those little gaps of time. Find, you know, you do it when you're going to the bathroom, you do it on your lunch breaks, whatever it takes, right? And another thing, I hit on this a lot, so I'm not going to go into this, is going into the money thing. I talk to almost everybody I talk to has an issue with money, because that was one of my things. One of my, hold on one second, big, I guess you could call it objections, because I didn't have money, right? But I made the money happen. You know, you stop going out and drinking beer every night. That was one thing for me, right? And the coffees, or you set aside money, a little bit of money every single week. Another thing that we straight up help you do, I've helped people write budgets for this stuff before, because again, you're never alone. We're never just going to throw you in and be like, let's get your $160 and figure it out. No, that's not how this goes. We figure it out in a way that's going to work like the best for you, and that you can feel good about, that we can all feel good about. And everything else, you guys, everything else that you might be thinking right now, like excuses or objections or whatever's going through your head, I guarantee you it's a limiting belief that you have for yourself. And I can say that to you because we're eating out, Kaylee, totally. Because I had them all, right? I had no confidence. I didn't want to be a salesperson. I didn't want to post on social media. I didn't want to be that person. And all that is my own brain. And that's another thing, once again, that we work on for ourselves so that we can be better for other people. So I want to give it over to Tanya because I've talked plenty. So she can wrap it up for us. But I just want to say really quick, thank you for jumping on, and please let us know if you have any questions at all about anything. Okay, Tanya, take it away.
Okay, so just to kind of recap and close this out, let's pretend that you're ready. You're like, okay, I'm in, I'm gonna do this. Like, what the heck, what do I do? So if you're already a challenger and you're already drinking Shakeology and you already have a workout program, we are going to help you become a coach. So reach out. It's either going to be free or it's going to be $40, depending on how long ago you purchased your workout and Shakeology program. Or if you've never done a group, we just need to get you set up with the tools, which will be a Beachbody workout program and Shakeology. And then you're probably curious, like, what does the next 30, 60, 90 days look like? So first month, you'll join in on a group, and you're going to invite a few friends to join you. And we're going to help you cover the cost of your Shakeology. Month number 2, we're going to co-run a group together and put you in touch with like our whole team. Like, you're going to get running on the ground, hit the ground running. And then month 3, you're going to end up running a group by yourself. You're going to start helping others. You're going to start to see results in your life. And then you're really going to start building your own team. So the big kicker here is that on Monday, we have a new coach training group that we'd love to get you in on. So if you're excited about this, and maybe you're like excited, nervous, or you have butterflies in your stomach, and you're probably like, oh, I don't know, I don't do this right. Ooh. Like, yes, listen to those nervous butterflies and let's do this. And then we'll get you plugged into that new coach training program that's happening on Monday. So that's basically it. So reach out to the coach that invited you to this, or whoever you creeped on Facebook and you ended up on this video. And then if there are any questions, you guys want to drop them into the chat box, we'll answer those. Give you guys a minute to kind of do that. But this is fun. Melissa, how's your day going?
Good. Spent the night at the ER with Patrick, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, no.
But, you know, had the time off so we could do it. But yeah, got a lot of work done, right?
Yeah, at the
Working
ER.
anywhere.
It doesn't look like there's any questions, so I think we'll just wrap it up here. But thank you guys so much for jumping on. We're going to have this video available on a recording so we can share it with everybody. And if you want to share with anybody else, you're welcome to do that. So thank you so much. Love you, Melissa.
Thank you. Love you too. Mwah. Bye, guys.